USB-C versus Lightning. Better performance? More confusing? This is MacVoices. Today's edition of MacVoices is supported by Zocdoc. Find doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them. Download the free Zocdoc app at zocdoc.com/MacVoices. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, this is the third in a three-part MacVoices live conversation. This time we wrap up our discussion and debate of USB-C versus Lightning, especially in light of the European Union's recent mandate. Let's go back and let the panel do the talking.
There's not just Lightning versus USB-C. It's not two different flavors of that single port. There's I don't even know how many different specs for USB-C. So even if it says USB-C, you have no idea what sort of cable you're using. And that's where things get really messy.
The whole EU thing is more to do with power, really. It's right.
Well, yeah.
It's a power issue, and they don't really care about data transfer, to be honest.
I mean, Apple kind of switched because you have USB-C and Lightning cables now that come with every iPhone, and so you have that, but you have to plug the USB-C connector into a power adapter, and the Lightning goes into the iPhone. So they're still doing that now, and there's the confusion as it is. But I mean, I think that really the biggest thing that's driving a lot of discussion about this is the EU and saying, hey, by 2024, we're going to mandate that you have to have USB-C on every electronic device that's out there, and that in itself, I think, is what's going to kind of wake up Apple thinking, okay, what do we need to do here? I mean, obviously, EU is going to be a big market for them, and what do they need to do to alleviate that when they do have to do it? Granted, they have probably 2 to 3 years before they have to do it. I mean, I don't think the iPhone 14 is going to get it. I think Lightning is going to stay another year, and they'll probably wait until the iPhone 15 to finally do it. But even Mark's background, he's got the years. So when the Lightning came out and when the USB-C was put into the iPad Pro, 2012, we're at 10 years now on a Lightning connector. The 30-pin connector, I think, was just as long, if not longer.
And how mad are people going to be when Lightning goes away after 10 years?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Just like they were mad about the 30-pin connector, and then all of a sudden Apple's coming out with...
Yeah.
Apple's coming out with a goofy...
in the street.
Kelly, if I could quote you from an earlier show, where I think you said, and there are all sorts of people who are going to get their butt hurt about, Apple changing its technology, and because I understand everything Mike is saying, and yes, there is tremendous confusion out there about is it a USB-C, is it Thunderbolt? What type of cable is it? Does it have? It's a high performance cable where it actually has silicon chips in there to maintain signal integrity over long distance. Right. It's a little bit of a mess. But just for point of discussion, since USB-C has been in the iPad, for 2018, it's not a design issue. Obviously, Apple has the technology to integrate it into their ARM processor. It's just more of a matter, I think, of convenience, for users to have something that's easy to plug in without all the confusion and chaos that comes from having a crappy, 99-cent cable that they bought instead of, $5 for an Amazon Basic or $20 for one from Apple.
Oh,
so
people buy them at the Walgreens on the pins right at the checkout counter. The garbage.
Oh, sure. Yeah, because I think it's we'll have to see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if Apple does it this year. Maybe just that way they could preempt everything. But Europe market of 350-ish million people, so that's something that Apple certainly incorporate into their thinking at some point.
I mean, go back to the speed as far as how the USB-C plug is working. When the Apple Watch Series 7 came out, the new charger comes now with a USB-C plug as opposed to a USB-A plug. When you were to use the USB-A plug to plug in one of the old chargers for your Apple Watch, it was charging slow. The same thing with the MagSafe charger that I use it on my bedside now. I love it. It attaches to my phone magnetically, and it's a USB-C. It charges so much faster because of the technology with USB-C. So I mean, even in Andrew's article here, he gives the pros and the cons, and slow data transfer is one of the biggest cons that the Lightning connector has. I mean, that's when you have that. Why iPad Pros have the Thunderbolt connector now. The M1 now has a Thunderbolt connector. That drive I just showed, I can plug it into the iPad, and the speeds are just tremendous. And you do that into an iPhone, you have data transfers that are slow. But again, it's going to be standards, and like Kelly said, it's there's going to be an upheaval of people going, oh my God, I have to get a new cable again, because a lot of people are not like us, who could care less what the cable does, as long as it's a cable that I have, because we have drawerfuls of those Lightning cables.
So,
How many times do we really
here's an
care about
idea.
the speed of our phone transfers? I mean,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Ever.
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I've never really thought I needed a faster transfer of my phone
No, most don't.
over the cable. Maybe
Try
once or
shooting
twice
4K.
during like a big music restore or something like that, but not very often.
Well, when you look at high resolution video,
Yeah. The 13
people are
Pro
taking
Max is-
4K videos.
Right.
That's where the slow transfer comes in. Another
Exactly.
thing is,
and you're going to get it someone with an iPad Pro who has the
Yeah.
wrong cable, and they're not going to be able to play their 4K video, and they're going to be like, what the heck?
Mm.
And that's you took it right out of my brain. I mean, because as someone who has traditionally is a strange word, but has for years used an iPad as my primary device to
Right.
record interviews at a trade show. I mean, the Lightning is a problem, because you take the iPad back and you're going to dump, a whole lot of gigs of data across to your Mac. And guess what? It's plug it in and then go out for lunch or dinner.
Take a vacation.
Takes a while. So
that was why Apple's smart, and they went with the iPad Mini 5 now is USB-C. So
right.
Well, they want you to use wireless, right? Everything
they
should
want
be
you
in
to
the cloud.
cloud.
Everything
Yeah.
should be in the cloud.
No one should ever have to worry about plugging a phone into
Apple
a
does
computer
not want
like
you
an
plugging-
animal.
Right.
AirDrop
Apple does
everything.
not want anybody using this cable at all.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with the
AirDrop and iCloud.
with the iCloud, you don't have the storage, that you might need for 4K videos, and who wants to put that all in the cloud and things like that. But I think Apple's definitely kind of tried to wait, and that's why we're not going to see a big issue going from the 30 pin. When we went from 30 pin to Lightning, I was in a thrift store yesterday, and I saw this beautiful radio dock, and I'm like, I want it, but I had the 30 pin connector on it, and that's the problem, because
you
so
saw
many
a
people.
30-pin connector in
How
a
is that a
store.
problem?
It was in a thrift store. Yeah.
Oh, I still got one of those. I got
Yeah.
one of those
I do
Bose
too.
sound docks.
But it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I almost got it too, because I have the adapter. But I mean, people were spending good amount of money on these docks and things, and there was actually systems built around them, and like there was home automation thing, like
You still
home
see them in
stereos
hotels
built around.
sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
people were literally
iHome.
building infrastructure products around these connectors. Now, not so much, right? Because you got the Bluetooth thing, and actually the Lightning connector is not a very good dock connector, right? The 30 pin that's why you see so many more docks than you are now, because it's Lightning and just dangles. So, so now I think that it's not going to be as big as a deal if we went forward, because there's a lot more wireless stuff going on.
I'm not
wanna bring
against the USB-C or Thunderbolt in the devices, by the way. I'm not in a rush to get it done, because I know when they
Right.
get it done, it's not going to be as simple as everybody thinks it is. And I also think the EU mandating anything is not going to have the effect that people think it's going to have. Just look at like the French law, where they have to include the
power.
the headset in the
In the headset,
box
right.
with the
Yeah.
device.
Apple
And
did it.
that's like just
Yeah.
coming out, and it's obsolete because everyone's using Bluetooth stuff now. So
Well, there's going to be a
Along
Lightning.
those lines, I
There'll be a
have a
Lightning to
question.
USB adapter.
Yep.
100% when it comes out.
I have
So let me
I'm
me-
not
yeah.
so sure about that.
Why
And
not?
isn't this? It's going to up because I don't think it's USB-C is a smart cable where the devices talk to each other.
They've been giving them
And-
away with your phone for a little while. USB-C to Lightning.
Right,
But
but the
you-
other way. He's
The
talking
other
about
way.
the other way.
So you plug
Lightning to
USBs.
Turn it around.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Brett.
well,
Hey, let me get the chat
One
room
thing-
in here because they've had a number of comments. Brett asked if there's a way to bring USB 3 speeds to a Lightning connector. That seems like the solution to the problem for most people. And yeah, it would be, but I don't think that's possible.
I think it's a technical.
Or why
Yeah,
would
it
they?
is, yeah.
Why
no,
would they
sure, it could be
reinvent
done.
more
Apple might
lightning?
have to
They would have to
Apple
reinvent
might have to
lightning
re-engineer.
cable.
Okay, whoa,
Some
one at a
IP.
time, guys. One at a time.
Technically, Apple might need to just re-engineer some IP, to boost its speed. But clearly, it's Lightning is falling behind, and especially for all these other video speeds that people were talking about. So, whether there's a Lightning 2 or a switch to USB-C, I think Apple needs to do something to improve the output performance of the iPhone.
All right. Kelly says a USB-C to Lightning cable will charge a lot faster, and data throughput can be faster than the A to Lightning cable. But there's a lot of variables to that.
Right.
Interesting.
A lot of variables.
Well, because I'm also not plugging it into the computer that had USB-A ports either. I mean, there's that too. So maybe the reason it's perkier is because I'm using a different computer. But maybe the reason it's perkier is because it's Tuesday evening and not Wednesday morning. I mean, there's a lot of variables to stuff like that. And, C tends to be faster, tends to be more reliable, tends to be a thing that's easier. I will say I have a work device that is a Google Pixel that is USB-C. And one of the things, and first of all, it's a skinny phone. Like, it is not, everybody said, oh, Apple can't keep making skinny phones if they put a USB-C connector in there. And that is patently untrue. I can't reach it right now, or I would pick it up and show you. Here's an iPhone and here's my Pixel, and they're
here's
basically
my Pixel
the same.
2, and that's got that's skinny
So
here.
it's not a big slab of tech to do it. I do like the same thing I already said about the Lightning cable. Whichever way I plug it in to charge it, it's fine. And it charges really fast, which is nice. I haven't had to plug it into anything yet, so I don't know what the data transfers are like with Android. But like, as an experience, it's nice to just have a USB-C cable on my desk and have it charge my iPad, have it charge my other iPad, have it charge my Pixel device, have it charge the Surface if I need to in a pinch, because I don't have the Surface charging cable, which is stupid, proprietary, and dumb. I have a lot of other words for it, but I'm not going to say them because I don't want to make Chuck have to edit. I will put them in a little pile for after dark, and we can talk about the Surface then. This is not Surface Voices, this is MacVoices. But in general, and I said it in the chat, the plural of anecdote is not data. So I can't tell you any of this definitively. I don't have any measurements or anything, but it tends to be less tedious of an experience if I have to plug my phone in to plug it into the C ports that I have instead of the A ports that I used to have. And there are lightning adapters for everything. There are USB-C adapters for everything else. So if you have some sort of situation, I guarantee you can go on Amazon and find an adapter for it. And I know somebody else said something about like Apple losing money on the licensing, and they may lose money on licensing Lightning, but they're not going to lose any money on the MFI stickers on all of that stuff. The MFI certification is still a thing that people want to get. And I personally won't buy anything that's not. And I'm probably in the minority on that because it means I'm buying $10 cables instead of $3 cables. But
Yeah.
I'm fussy like that. So I try to be particular and make sure they're MFI. And that's a particular certification sort of thing that you have to go through with Apple in order to get that stuff certified like that. So I try to keep it at least to those.
It's the old adage, you get what you pay for.
Yeah. One thing that we haven't mentioned here at all is there's been, long time rumors that they would just get rid of all cables and make it completely wireless, which I hope does not happen anytime soon. But that's, that keeps coming up that, they won't go to USB-C. They'll just have no plugs at all. So I don't know.
They'll go to USB-C and they'll either not give you a power brick or they'll give you a crappy one like they did with the new MacBook Airs. And they'll say it can fast charge, but not with the 30-watt block that we're going to give you in your $1,200 computer.
Right.
This edition of MacVoices is supported by Zocdoc. Find doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them. If you're a fan of it, sushi is incredible. But gas station sushi, not so much. Finding the right sushi makes all the difference. The same goes for finding the right doctor. With Zocdoc, you can find the right doctor for you, in your network, and in your neighborhood. One that makes you feel like you're in good hands, you're supported, and you're heard, even if you're telling them about your favorite sushi place. Zocdoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them. Zocdoc's mobile app is as easy as ordering a ride to a restaurant or getting delivery to your house. Search, find, and book doctors with just a few taps. Every month, millions of people use Zocdoc. If I need a quality doctor, Zocdoc is where I go. Go to Zocdoc.com/MacVoices and download the Zocdoc app for free. Then start your search for a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's Zocdoc, ZocDoc.com/MacVoices. Zocdoc.com/MacVoices. Thanks to Zocdoc for supporting this week's MacVoices.
Okay, but can we talk about how the new brick has 2 ports?
If
No.
you get the
And how
upgraded computer,
long-
if you get the upgraded computer,
Right,
if you upgrade
but-
your power supply, yeah.
But it
you
is
get
a
2 ports.
thing. It is a thing that now officially exists in any timeline. And how long have I beaten this drum? Longer than I've known Brittany, which is a long time, which is like 800 years now, because some of it was pandemic time. I have been like, seriously, Apple, it never occurred to you that somebody would have more than one Apple device that might need another USB port? Really? Really?
Sure, it
And
occurred to them. but
Finally.
their bank account said no.
That's the
Finally.
thing. When it comes to the charging, I don't trust Apple to do anything more than the bare minimum. They're not going to sell more devices because they have a better power supply.
No,
No, and you know,
but
that-
it's nice. I can
I
maybe
know-
charge my watch and not go, oh crap, I forgot a whole nother charger for my watch.
It would be
But I-
nice if you bought a watch. They're still selling the Series 3 and
Not for long.
they're not even going to support it. in a
Yeah,
couple
it doesn't
of
run
months.
I couldn't believe it came back when the store went down and they said, oh, watchOS 3 or Series 3 won't run watchOS 9. I went, oh, well, part of the reason the store's down is because they're going to old yeller that Series 3, aren't they? No, unless we get a watch event before like October, then I don't know what they're going to do, because that's a bad look
Another topic.
like on several fronts.
Yeah, the charger thing, Kelly, you know, that doesn't offend me as much as it does you, because it obviously offends you a lot. But, you know, I think for
I'm
a
just
lot
confused
of
by it, and I've been confused by it for a really, really long time, as you know.
then I can straighten you out. I mean, there's a very robust third-party market out there, and not every single thing has to have an Apple logo on it. They would much rather sell you the phone or the iPad as opposed to the charger.
Yeah.
They kind of have to sell you the charger, you know, because
know.
there are plenty of people out there that are not going to educate themselves, or they're not going to know that. Who just put it in the chat room? Brad just put in the chat room that Anchor's eating their lunch on chargers.
Anchor, you agree?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many great
I mean,
options. So
that's
I haven't used an Apple charger in years.
yeah,
Same.
so you know,
Yeah.
but why would they waste their time and money, you know, developing, marketing, and packaging and all that stuff, you know,
Well-
when there are perfectly decent options out there?
I know.
So
Mostly
does
it's
anyone know
just
how big
because
Anchor is? I mean, is the charger market revenue big enough to matter to a $350-400 billion company like Apple? Or is that
it's more about if you're not going to give me the power anymore. Like my watch didn't come with a power adapter. And if my watch isn't going to come with a power adapter, could you be bothered to spend another 8 cents and put one of those friggin' ports on the melon
Exactly.
farming charger that you sold me with my $2,000
Well,
machine? Could you? Would it
All right.
kill you, Apple?
I was-
The answer is no.
This sounds like a debate about it from about a year, maybe 18 months ago, where Apple was saying, "No, they're not going to be shipping chargers with things." And I said, "Oh, this is a margin enhancing thing," and I think everyone laughed at me and thought it wasn't going to be significant either way.
No,
And then
I
at the
said
end
it
of last
was
year,
profit
there was a style
masquerading as
story,
environmental.
that they made over $1.5 billion of profit, incremental profit just by not shipping chargers. So
I said it was profitability disguised as environmental consciousness, which is exactly.
We were saying the same thing then in different words. We're saying the same thing in different words. But I think, again, the reality is that I think Apple does kind of make clear what's in and out of the box. And, if you don't like it, buy something else. I don't think you won't like it enough to buy something else.
Oh, my problem is solved. What I do is leave that stupid, pointless brick in the box, and I use an actual charger from a company that understands how people use technology. And it has ports, plural. I know, mind-blowing. Yeah. That's all. I'm just very irked. I've been irked by it forever, because especially since they decided they were going to quit adding other stuff. Like, we're not going to put in headphones because the environment. We're not going to give you a wall wart because the environment. But we can't give you 2 ports since we know you're going to have to plug one of these mamma jammas in anyway. Come on.
Well, I think that shows that the environment may be one of their considerations, but I think profitability and cost reduction is another one that probably has a much greater weight when they actually come to balance the equation and make their decision.
Their financial environment.
I'm going to take the last word on this, because I think this is not a zero-sum game. I think that there were environmental considerations. I think there were profit considerations, and there's certainly considerations coming from their customers. But at the end of the day, I know how many, before they made that decision, I know how many Apple charging blocks, the little ones that I have down in the basement. I know how many sets of headphones that are still wrapped up in their nice little, Apple packaging that I have never used. So I think it's a win-win, and they continue to sell. If you want to go and buy them, you can buy them. So it's that's it.
No, you can't. Hey, not now.
We're up against time. We got to get out of here and let folks go.
Good stocking stuffers.
Yeah. So let's go around the room, let everyone know where they can find you. And I don't even know what happened to you. This was just a weird night. David Ginsburg, thank you so much for being here. Glad you're feeling better. Where can folks find you?
You can find me at In Touch with iOS at intouchwithios.com. You find me here on Tuesday nights. You find me on the Mac Show on the British Tech Network on Friday mornings, and my YouTube channel, youtube.com/DaveG65. And I'm on Twitter, DaveG65. Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you, David. Warren Sklar, the best place to find you when you're not in the basement.
Usually here in the basement. Tuesdays here sometimes, Thursdays with Dave sometimes, Facebook sometimes, and in my basement most of the time. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Jim Ray, who we expect to be coming from us from his local pizza parlor next week. Jim, where can folks find you?
You can find me in my backyard. Come on over. We'll have a picnic or something. Failing that, you can find me at provue.com, PROVUE.com, or on the Twitter machine at ProVueJim.
Great. Thank you. And thanks for all your insight into the second half, if you will, of WWDC. Really appreciate it. Kelly Guimont, the best place to locate you would be when you're not double booked?
You're never going to let her forget that, are you?
No.
Never.
Never. No.
Well, and apparently it's going to be Jim's backyard, because mine's a disaster right now while I'm getting a new patio. My new patio is in process. So there's a whole concrete situation happening in my backyard, and it won't be settled down until like 4th of July minimum. So I'm going to hang out in Jim's backyard. So you can find me there. Having a picnic, apparently.
This is actually a brand new patio set, which is kind of why I'm out here. This chair is only 2 days old.
Well,
wow.
See, so yeah, I'm gonna go help Jim break in his new patio furniture. And then the rest of the time, you can find me on Twitter as Verso. You can find me over at theslice.tech, where Brittany and I have did a little live streaming last week talking about the Dub aftermath on Monday afternoon. I had a couple of other interviews. There are a couple more that are going up and more coming all the time. You can find me on Loud, Fast, and Keep Going, a Barry podcast where we talk about the show on HBO starring Bill Hader, which is hilarious and dark as anything and super awesome and lots of fun. I Want My MCU TV is still a thing that is happening right now because Ms. Marvel is on Disney Plus, and Dawn and Lisa and Nathan and I are gabbing about that. We're about to dust off Greetings from the Uncanny Valley because Westworld is coming back in a couple of weeks. So if you enjoy hearing Dawn and I chat and you would rather listen to us talk about Wild West sex robots instead of Disney programming, you can do so over there. And yeah, I think that's most of it. I'm sure I forgot something. I occasionally show up and try to derail David over at In Touch with iOS once in a while too. So that's probably most of it.
You derail? No, I can't imagine.
Nah.
Nah.
We're just lucky
Mike,
you didn't ask Mike anything that didn't involve a notebook, or you could have seen it all over again here.
Mike Schmitz, it's great to have you back. I know that your schedule is often tight on Tuesdays, but we appreciate it when something gets rained out or a game gets changed. So thanks for being here. But you indicated, I guess, early on in the show, or at least maybe even pre-show, that things have changed a little bit. Where is the best place for folks to find you?
Yeah, so the day job has changed, but the stuff I do online is basically the same. MikeSchmitz.com has links to everything. I write occasionally still at The Sweet Setup, and I do a couple of podcasts, Focused with David Sparks, Relay.fm/Focused, Bookworm with Joe Bulig, which is at bookworm.fm, Intentional Family with my wife at intentionalfamily.fm. And I'm on Twitter _Mike Schmitz, and I am getting into YouTube. So youtube.com/Mike Schmitz. Like and subscribe, smash that bell.
Thank you, Mike. Good to have you. So good to have
Thank you.
Mr. Fuccio, where can folks find you when you're not developing a new background for MacVoices Live next week?
The easiest place is the soon to be, or maybe not to be, Elon Musk property known as Twitter, where I'm at Mark Fuccio, MarkFuccio, or on the Microsoftian LinkedIn.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Frank Petrie, glad you were able to make it and get connected.
I was surprised I was able to make it, though.
Get on the right mic and everything. Where can folks catch up with you?
Everything collapsed. My AirPod Pros and well, usually I'm sitting here with my iPad hoping to find a calculator so I can figure out whether Kelly or Jeff are on more podcasts. But you can find me. I have my site, ympnow.com. I'm on the tweets at fpetrie. I am on Instagram from time to time at PHRANKY. And I also do a monthly review for Screencasts Online, if you've ever heard of them.
I think we have once or twice. Thank you, Frank.
Thanks for having me.
Last but not least, Brittany, I think a couple of weeks ago I asked you about gift cards. I was going to give one to Warren for your services. I think now I need to buy some and give them to myself for your services after tonight.
Okay. All right. We'll chat offline.
We'll work it. Yeah. Let's work out a bulk arrangement. Where can folks find you?
So on Twitter for nerdy techie stuff, it's ADD Liberator. That is also the name on YouTube, which I have been posting to more. I have not gotten those likey subscribey words to come out of my mouth yet. Maybe someday I'll have reached that level. But at the moment, I've been posting more pre-recorded videos, and it's been going pretty well. So yeah, the YouTube ADD Liberator.
Great. Thanks so much.
And if you're here, like Chris. Chuck and you need other services, that's Conquer.consulting.
Yeah. Are you diagnosing me that I do need those services?
I cannot legally diagnose.
Okay. All right. Well, illegally diagnosed. I don't care.
Even on Zoom?
I need help. I need
Especially
help.
on Zoom.
Mhm.
The first step is admitting you need the help. As long as you can get there, you're good. So
True
You need-
confessions,
you
right?
need the
Thank
light
you,
your
Mac
kid.
Voices.
you don't have to be neurodiverse to have a need to get your poop in a group and maybe get somebody like Brittany to help you do it. So there you go.
Thank you for the reinforcement, Kelly.
I could have that
Yeah.
bumper sticker.
Folks, this is Mac Voices Live. We try to do this every Tuesday night, and this is what happens.
We try to do Mac Voices Live every Tuesday night. Instead, you got this.
Yeah, yeah. We
What
hope you
is
find it
this?
entertaining.
What is this?
Let's see. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, whatever time that is, wherever you are. We are always in the YouTube chat room at youtube.com/MacVoicesTV for whatever this is. We'd love to have you join us there. And in the words of Mr. Mike Schmitz, we are also on YouTube. So what is it? Smash, like, subscribe. Is that it, Mike? Did I get it right?
I don't know.
They smash everything on YouTube.
Yeah, whatever you're
Like,
supposed to do.
Any
Subscribe
button you
and
see, as
smash
long as
the
it's not
button.
dislike.
It's like, share, subscribe.
Like, oh yeah, that's it. Right, guys.
Ooh, there
guys,
you
Smash
go.
that
share,
bell
subscribe.
for the notifications for when we go live.
There
and
you
do
go.
whatever
that's
this
what the
is
bell
that we
does. I
try to
didn't
call
even know.
Mac Voices Live. So,
Yeah. So please do whatever you're supposed to do on YouTube and come back here next Tuesday. This is just, I'm telling you, this was out of control.
Smash my OnlyFans page.
We will see you next Tuesday. I'm Chuck Joyner. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page and get more out of your Apple tech with Mac Voices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.